Don't need anything right till it turns green in the bottom right there. There it is.
Hello.
You can touch again. Hey everyone, this is Thursday, June 27th.
Thursday.
Yes. And it's Actifio On-Tech. And it's Jay here, and of course we have
Chris,
and our newest victim, the rookie for Actifio On-Tech. Your name?
Carrie.
Carrie, welcome, Carrie. Carrie's our intern at Actifio, but sadly, Carrie cannot partake in this fine beer we have this week, which is Double Pier Imperial Wheat IPA.
This is
now,
from
Chris,
Trillium
would you like
Brewing
to share a description of that, perhaps, from the can?
I will tell you a little bit about the history here.
Please do.
Pier is their wheated IPA.
So what does that mean?
So that means that they use at least some wheat in the grain bill that goes into fermenting for this beer.
Okay.
Usually when they actually call out it being wheat, you're going to see like at least 20 or 30% wheat in the bill.
I see.
So that's as opposed to barley or other things like that.
So what does that mean? Does that change anything from alcohol content standpoint?
Just makes it tastier.
Tastier. Oh, it is not dark.
I'd say from a fermentable standpoint, they're about the same, but wheat definitely has different notes to it, sweeter, and
Gotcha.
you might notice some fresh grassy scents. I don't know.
Here we are. So you can see us live streaming.
That's beautiful.
Yes, beautiful
So
today.
this is the Double Pier, which is, I guess they decided that Pier was not enough. They got to make an Imperial extra hop version. So cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Carrie, where's your seltzer?
Oh, we could have gotten like some of the water
I
from
know.
upstairs or something.
Next time.
All right.
Oh, what's hoppy? Wow. What do you think?
Hoppy. It is hoppy. I'm not usually a hoppy guy, but it's good.
Yeah. You're a happy guy, though, Jay.
I'm a very happy guy. All right, cool. So this week, I seem to be the only one with stories, but fortunately, I am well equipped. And it's great because we can get some very good millennial perspectives here from Carrie. So the first question I have for the crowd is, do either of you smoke e-cigarettes or vape?
No.
Me neither. Sadly, me neither. Not sadly.
So we
probably
don't have great perspective.
I know, I'm actually not that great. But I have kids, and they don't either. Teddy or Thomas, don't you dare do that. They're younger. But San Francisco became the first city in the U.S. to ban the sale of e-cigarettes. And one of the interesting ironies is that one of the there's many big employers, but one company has a big footprint there, corporate headquarters, is Juul, who's one of the biggest companies providing these solutions.
Why did they ban it?
I think for the health consequences. What do you guys think? What do you think, Carrie?
It's definitely not healthy at all.
I agree with you. But some people say, well, I should have the freedom to do that, I guess. Right. My problem is more about young kids and, you worry about people. I have kids. I don't want my kids doing that. And I think a lot of kids in high school do it.
It feels a little empty given that tobacco's still legal.
Yeah, you can still buy cigarettes, can't you?
There's no way that these are less healthy than cigarettes.
That's probably
true. They may not be
true.
healthy,
Right.
but I have a hard time believing it's less healthy than cigarettes.
Is chew still
But they
legal?
can't ban cigarettes because the lobby.
I know. So do you think that's going to be a trend? I think we'll see more cities doing this?
Yes.
Might
I
make it
think
more
so.
pleasant to walk down the street without navigating through the fog.
The fog of vaping.
Oh, wait, we're in San Francisco. There's
I know.
fog everywhere.
Oh, there you go. So what difference does it make, right? Maybe it's the same fog. All right, so let me ask you guys another question. So do you use, when driving, what is your preferred app for navigation on your phone?
Google Maps.
Google Maps. Nice. How about you?
Same.
Really?
Waze.
I'm a Waze guy. Yes.
I had a feeling you were a ways man.
Yes, exactly. And I like Waze because it has really good sort of alerts of different things, like broken down cars or speed traps or whatever. That's why I like it. Well, anyone watch that show in The Office? Anyone watch The Office? You ever watch The Office?
Yeah.
You watch The Office?
Definitely.
Well, there was a story this week that reminded me of one of those funny episodes in The Office where it's Michael and Dwight and they're driving down the road and Michael's saying, the GPS says go there, GPS says go there. Dwight's like, no. Michael says, it's what it says, go. And so they went right into a lake.
Right.
Straight in. So you think, that's like a crazy show thing? Well, you know what? It happens in real life. So this week, there was a backup at Denver International Airport, maybe in like an accident or something, not a plane one, but a car thing. So what happens? People naturally go to Google Maps and they say, find me a shortcut. Lo and behold, here's one that takes 40 minutes with traffic. Here's another route that takes 25. What do? The 25-minute route.
Oh boy.
You can imagine where it's going. Fortunately, it's not a lake. But it is a dirt road that happens to have a lot of rain and be muddy. 100 people went down there. 100 cars got stuck trying to go this back road as suggested by...
Was this actually a road, or was it just like a cow path?
Yeah, and the Google's response was, you can see a picture, I should show it, of these people like stuck in the mud, staring at the airport saying, God, I wish I was there.
They're pretty close.
I know, I can see it close enough. But they're like kind of close, like maybe they could walk, but they're like looking longingly at the airport as their car is stuck.
Wow.
So I had that happen to me once, not quite the same, where I was in Europe and I was following GPS, and I was in a country that didn't speak English. And so I was driving a van with like family members, like 8 people, and it put me through a field. I know where I was. I knew where I was going, but
You just keep driving.
I just kept driving. I'm like, God, I hope we don't hit rock or we don't hit mud or something. I don't know. Have you guys ever had any weird sort of navigational snafus like that?
Not me personally.
I definitely have. I will say it was prior to Google Maps, showing my age a little bit.
Yeah.
After college, went on a cross-country road trip, and we had a little Garmin guy, and I guess the roads were just out of date, and we ended up like driving down someone's driveway, and got to the house, and it was like, yep. Can't keep going here.
Did they like come out with like a shotgun and threaten you?
Fortunately not. It was rural Pennsylvania, so we were kind of backing up quickly. But
I drove cross country with no GPS, just a map.
I remember that.
And it worked, yeah, so...
What's a map?
Paper map, 2007.
Did you ever get why didn't you get a Triptik from AAA? Anyone know what that is?
That's what I did do. I got a Triptik.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So for those of you who don't know what Triptik is, effectively a Triptik you probably don't because it was before.
I did.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. I like it.
Yes.
Genuine old school. For those who don't, that was the thing where you go to AAA and you tell them, I want to go from here to there.
Yeah.
And they would like print you a book that says, go for 5 miles on Route 6, then turn left. And it would like literally be like sort of manual paper GPS.
Yeah, it was great. It worked out perfectly. No issues. They mapped out construction.
Yeah.
In like Missouri. It was great. Worked out good.
So they had someone just doing that for you?
I mean, I don't know if they didn't do it by hand. I think they had it.
Some kind of printout. Some kind of early GPS printout thing.
Yeah, it worked out.
I mean, in 2007, I guess you could have done MapQuest.
Sure.
If you wanted to.
Yeah, it worked
That's
out
what my
great.
dad did.
Did he?
Every single road trip, he'd print it out.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea. Charles, it's never like real time, so if you missed your turn or whatever, all that stuff gets a little problematic.
So I guess there's downsides to the new Google Maps, right? Because even though it's always up to date, then you have situations like this where it's like, someone probably did drive down that road at one point.
Right.
It might have been in a tractor. It might have been in a four-wheel,
So what they said is Google did answer to this. There was a question that was someone asked them like, how could you do that? And they're like, well, it's not a private road. It's a public road, so you can use it. Of course, the problem is it's not a sort of mainstream public road, if you will.
They should say conditions may vary, unpaved road or something.
So he says that had it not rained recently, the road surface is known to otherwise be hard-packed dirt. So theoretically, if it hadn't just rained, maybe it'd be okay.
Funnily enough, that's what happens to dirt when it rains.
I know.
It becomes not hard-packed.
I know, it's true.
Actually, that happened to us just yesterday. The Actifio bike squad went out for a bike ride.
Nice.
And we used Strava to map our route.
Yeah.
And for like 2 miles, we were on dirt.
Oh, really?
And there was no indication of that in the plan.
And were you on a road bike? Like the tiny tire thing?
Yeah.
That's not
it was
probably great.
A little sketchy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was kind of surprised because Strava's so like tuned for cycling. You would think they would say things like, you may want a mountain bike here, or, But.
So that's interesting. So was there a big crowd? Or were a lot of people with road bikes just like you?
I think it was four people that day. Yeah.
So our CTO loves to bike, and he has an electric bike. So he bikes to work almost every day when the weather's nice.
That's right, yeah.
But I don't know how much biking is doing versus just pushing the button.
Yes, he's pedaling. No, he does a great job with that because I guess the electric is nice. You don't have to arrive sweaty and whatnot.
True.
But he also has these big fat tires. Right, which makes biking on these roads much more comfortable. Even without the dirt, you've got potholes, all this crap. So he found that the electric kind of makes up for these big fat tires.
Right.
It's almost like he's riding a road bike now.
But doesn't it also mean that it's very heavy, I would think, with the batteries?
Yeah.
So if you ever have to pedal it without electric,
if you run out, you might be upset.
Yeah. You're kind of unhappy. You should get an electric bike. Do you have a bike?
I don't. My dad threw it out when I was younger.
Why was that?
Because the pedal broke. I was very upset.
You had never heard of fixing your bike?
I guess it just wasn't
That wasn't on his
worth it.
list, yes.
I know. But I have rode an electric bike before, the Lime bikes.
Yes,
Yeah.
how was that?
Awesome.
Really?
Yeah. Gets you there a lot faster.
In Boston or somewhere else?
Just on my campus. We
I
have
see.
them.
Oh wow.
We've talked a lot here about the scooters. Have you read the electric scooters?
Oh,
Have you
yeah.
tried those? How do you like
are
those?
Cool. Yeah. Those are, I think, they're more convenient for closer
Sure.
travel.
Sure.
Yeah.
So a lot of the commentary was danger, like hitting potholes or sidewalks and hurting yourself, and there feels like there's a lot of potential risk around that, but you didn't have any problems.
No.
It's good.
Yeah.
You didn't awkwardly go, "Whoa,"
I know, well.
drive into a pedestrian.
And then you had problems. I had another story a while back about electric bikes where the brakes didn't work, and they wouldn't stop. They'd almost stop too hard.
Oh.
So you hit the brake and it would be like,
Yeah.
yes, exactly, not good. So glad you did not experience that.
Yeah, I'm
I do
glad I
see
did
those
not.
around my town, or a town next to mine, a bunch, but I haven't used them yet. So now, here's another question for you both. So where you live on campus, or your parents live, do you have a choice of like internet companies, do you know? Or is there only one? Like you only have one choice and that's it?
On campus, we definitely don't have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
But at home, I don't have a choice, but I guess my parents do.
Okay, how about you?
I think we've got Verizon and Comcast.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
So
The RCN, or
Right.
the good cheap ones. But.
So I live in a fairly rural, not really rural, but fairly in Massachusetts, not too far from here, and we only have one choice. Now, not true, we probably have two, DSL for internet, which is terrible, it doesn't count, but really effectively for real internet, we only have one. And so I asked that because a lot of people complain, and I personally feel the same way, because I probably pay $300 a month for, TV, internet, phone, everything.
Jack, Jesus. How many fucking
Come on!
cable packages do you subscribe to?
None! Not that many.
300?
Yes. I have
goodness.
multiple TVs, and I still have a phone line, and I have blast internet, and whatever.
Oh, he's getting blasted.
I don't know. So the complaint is, in fact, that people get frustrated about having only one carrier because in my case, Comcast effectively, or Xfinity now, has no competition. So they're like, you know what, we'll charge you whatever you want, whatever
Maybe
we
that's
want.
why it's so.
And it's like, well, what else am I gonna do? So there's a problem for this even in all places in New York City. Mm-hmm. So, which is crazy, because you think New York City, right, a really big city that's very modern, a lot of sort of interesting stuff happening. And in fact, there's a big problem. In fact, between a quarter and a third of New York City residents still don't have broadband. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That is a lot. So that is a big shock. And so one of the solutions that people have done, which I think is really interesting, is they've sort of created their own effectively like guerrilla do-it-yourself internet network. So these people are like, you know what, I'm going to do a good thing for people, and I'm going to do this. And then, Chris, you can do it too, but you got to buy a router, an antenna, and maybe make some donations. And you can just get it. So it's an interesting idea about build your own internet.
So they're subscribing, they're not subscribing to commercial, residential internet and then spreading it out. They're actually becoming their own ISP.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
They are. And so they just built like a brand new network called SuperNode 3 that's going to cover huge swaths of Manhattan and Brooklyn as a way to sort of address this challenge.
And all wireless.
All wireless.
No wires at all.
No wires.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool, I think.
Impressive, yeah.
And then I also think, well, wait a second. Why shouldn't all internet at some point be wireless? Wouldn't you think that'd be better? Because one of the limitations, of course, with Xfinity is that, or with someone to compete with Xfinity, is Xfinity has a wire to my house, whereas, it's really expensive to run a wire to someone's house.
Yes.
So, like, if I wanted to name your competitor, Fios, Fios to run a cable to my house, and that's really expensive, particularly in an area like mine that's not very dense because the economics aren't great.
Right.
So maybe we'll see more wireless. But I think that's an interesting idea of people saying, you know what, forget it. They're not going to do it. I'm going to do it myself. And I like that idea.
I wonder what wireless spectrum they're using, because that's actually a challenge. Is a lot of the available
a good
broadcasting frequencies are pretty much taken up.
It's a good question. I would imagine they're probably using, more traditional Wi-Fi networks, but I don't know. What are they using
I can
for
barely
backhaul?
get through my wall. I can't imagine it gets through New York City buildings, right?
Well, yeah, but the idea is they put these big antennas up, right? Like you can see one here or one, there. Mm-hmm. and they're like shooting it. I think they shoot maybe point like broadly, and then maybe they put something in their window to receive it. I once early on in Boston, before I used to live there, before they even had DSL, I had a company who was doing this and putting up these Wi-Fi sort of network points, and you supposed to put something in your window. And to your point, that really worked very well.
Yeah.
I tried though. It's kind of a cool
You were
idea.
ahead of the curve back then.
I was. Well, I still am in some respects. In other respects, not so much. Thank you, though. That's really nice and deep. That's all I really have for my. Oh no, one more.
I thought you had one more.
Well, hold on, before you get into this last one, how's the beer?
It's good. It's got a little hoppy. I'm really kind of psyched for the other one because I'm a
Who said there
dark
was
beer
another
guy.
one, Jay?
There's definitely another one.
No, we're going for another one.
I think this is good. It's very hoppy. It's got that thickness from like the new Trillium style, and I don't really like that thickness, but
You can leave.
There you go.
So magically.
speaking of thickness,
Yeah.
I just want to read the ingredients on this.
So talk about this one. What is this one called? I love this one actually. It's pretty
It's
silly.
called Dad Shoes, which, I'm assuming was released on Father's Day.
Just before.
Dad Shoes is an imperial milk stout that does not take itself very seriously, but it's a serious beer. And you'll understand why. It's brewed with chocolate, coffee, graham crackers, marshmallows, toasted coconut, coconut
sounds
milk powder,
delicious.
Dutch
Like
cocoa
dessert.
powder,
Exactly.
vanilla saltwater taffy, salted caramel, and hops water malt yeast.
It's like almost like they put like everything dessert in it.
I don't know about this one, Jay.
You're just feeling so overwhelmed with it.
It's a lot of ingredients.
It is certainly a lot of
I
ingredients.
feel like I would rather just have a bowl of ice cream. But
But
Pour this
where do you get
over.
alcohol from in the ice cream?
we do have a lot of ice cream upstairs. One of our other Thursday activities of ice cream day.
By the way, was there an event last night? I almost went up, but I didn't hear anything in the email.
Yeah, we had Whiskey Wednesday last night.
I almost went up. And was it indeed whiskey?
No,
What was it? What was the drink of choice?
beer.
So beer Wednesday. Got it.
What you
Okay.
guys have?
We had like a keg clean out
Oh, nice.
type of deal. So every once in a while we look in and see what hasn't been touched in a long time and make sure stock has been rotated.
Nice.
Yeah, very important.
We'll open that up.
All right.
So
Just my-
while Chris is opening that, I will have my last story, which is a sort of a continuation of a story from last week. Last week I talked about a Florida city that had a ransomware attack and had to pay to get their money back. And you know what?
Happened again.
And it happened again this week.
Well, now that they've proven they'll pay for it, why would you
Yeah,
not
why
attack
would
them?
I know, but
So
do you know what ransomware is?
I'm assuming it's like holding something with software for like ransom.
Yeah, that's really good. So effectively what it is they get someone downloads something inappropriately, like, a virus something. Instead of corrupting their system, it goes out and finds all the data and then encrypts it with a secret key, which only the person who wrote it has.
Wow.
Then they call up and they say, you want your data back? I'll give you the key if you'll pay me some amount of money.
It's kind of genius.
Yeah.
It's kind of the evil mastermind right here. Yes.
Especially-
Carrie, are you designing this in your basement? Is that what you're doing?
With the cryptocurrency ransom, right? You don't really know who you're paying, so there's no traceability.
Good.
Yeah?
I like that.
You like
Stick.
it?
Stick.
Do you want to
You got
smell
a
this
sweet
one?
tooth, Jay.
I'll smell it, yeah.
Smelling
So-
is legal.
So the point about this
actually not that
story
sweet.
is it happened again, and the thing I keep saying, I said last week and I will say again, is when you get sort of ransomware like that, or when that happens, you got to have a backup, right? If you have an effective backup of your data, like you say, you know what, Mr. Ransomware or Mrs. Ransomware, forget it. I'm going to get my backup and I'm recover it and I'm going to be good. And it feels like these two cities must not have had a
They
backup
must not have
strategy
had
in
their
place.
effective backups.
So, and you know what? The other thing is, this could happen to you or to any of us at any time. So you need to have a backup strategy. So I say that in a bit of a self-serving way. We do backup products, but just a broader thing. Like we should all have it,
Yeah.
even in your house or whatever, because your laptop could get infected, and if you've got stuff that's important to you in your laptop,
Or you,
you
just
could lose it.
drop it and break it.
well, that's true too. Well, I know. Or
Just-
they used to say in the old days, your hard drive used to die, but you know what? People don't have hard drives anymore.
Yeah.
Your SSD could die or whatever it
still
might
die.
be. So I just use that as a reminder, everyone, to make sure you protect and back up your data.
That's right.
And I personally believe in the 3-2-1 concept, but that's getting maybe in the weeds. You know what 3-2-1 is?
3 copies, 2 locations, one really good plan.
No, 3 copies, 2 different like storage devices, 1 offsite.
Huh?
So you're close. So I do that. Do you do that?
Yeah.
No, clearly not. And you probably don't do that either.
Nope. I only back it up onto my computer, like my phone.
I see.
Does it go to the cloud?
Yeah.
iCloud.
Well, that's
So you've got 3 copies.
Yeah, you do.
2
on your phone, on the
Look at
computer, and the
that.
cloud. There you go. See, she does it. And you have 2 different storage devices, right?
I do.
Or 3, in fact. Your phone, your computer, and the cloud. So you are well covered. Look at that. She didn't even know.
You can really taste the saltwater taffy.
Can't you? It's just not stout season for me.
I'm
I
sweating.
know. I was sweating because Gio and I went for a great walk outside, sweating from that. But it was a great walk.
Nice.
So I think that's all we have for today. We missed Jason, who was out playing golf.
Oh, man.
I know, rough life out there. But he's told me he hit his team hit 7 under, which sounds pretty impressive to me. He was happy with his results, so good for him. So, Jason, cheers to you. Hope you're enjoying the links. And
Speaking
gosh,
of links, hit that subscribe button.
hit that subscribe button. Oh, and
Mash
we want a
that like
shout out.
button.
We want a shout out from Carrie's sister.
Oh,
I see
the
that
original
coming through. I
Kanky
know.
Actifia.
So Carrie's sister is Bree, who started how many years ago?
Like 5.
Like 5? Good for her.
Yeah.
And she's since moved to London. So she's out in London, and we felt so lost, devoid of people from that family that we hired Carrie for the summer.
Yep.
So it's good to have you.
It's good to be here.
Yes, there we go. So that's it with that. Thanks everyone for Actifio On-Tech for June 27th. I think we'll probably be on hiatus next week because it is the 4th of July.
True that.
So you'll see us the week after that.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th. Have a great weekend. Cheers.
Cheers.